Hey y'all, this is Angela, and welcome to the show Hodgepodge. This show is not about one thing, this show is about everything. Because in this old crazy world that we're living in, there is lots to discuss. So I hope you'll sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now let's get started with today's episode. Hey y'all, and welcome to another episode of Hodgepodge with Angela. I am your host, Angela, and we are going to get right into today's episode. But before we get on to the topic of the day, I want to share with y'all a quick little funny. So if you joined me for last week's episode, you heard me say that I'd been married for 12 years the second time. Well, my husband, as supportive as he is, he listened to the podcast. He came home and he said, I just want to know who you've been married to for 2 years longer than me and lived in Georgia with them. Like, what are you talking about? I wasn't married before you. I was married 20 years before you, but not after that marriage before you. What are you talking about? He said, well, you told everybody on your podcast you've been married for 12 years. And he said, we've only been married for 10. And y'all, I felt so bad. And I know why I said 12 years, because we got married in 2012. So we're coming up on our 10-year anniversary, which sort of leads me into the topic of the podcast for today. My 10-year wedding anniversary is going to be a revamp of my closet. And my closet right now is a nightmare. I have at one point just gone in, started throwing everything in there because no one sees it but my dog, Riley. He likes to go in there and hide in the closet, and because it's really dark and cool, so he loves the closet. But for my 10-year wedding anniversary, my husband has gifted me a fabulous professionally done closet. When it's time to bring in the closet and the organization and all that, I've got to move everything out. And that got me thinking about today's topic. I did that before. I moved every single thing out of my closet. And the reason I did that is because I had read a book called The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. And I had also watched the series that she had on Netflix. Now, when I originally read the book, I think a celebrity had posted it and talked about how it was life-changing because they were able to get organized in their home and all that. Well, I read it because, I like to be organized. I like things in their places. So I read the book and did a little bit of the things that she suggested. I cleaned out everything in my kitchen. I folded all of the dish towels and dishcloths the way she suggested, just to make things more organized. I cleaned out my dresser, folded all of my uh lady things, my underwear and my socks and all that, just like she said, and my lounge wear. I folded all of that like she said. And it was really nice having that stuff all clean. Well, after watching the Netflix series, I decided I was going to tackle my closet, because my closet back then was a nightmare too. Things were just not organized. So I took every piece of clothing out of that closet. I took out handbags. I have some little shelves in there. Everything was stacked on. I took everything out and I put it in one of our spare bedrooms. And the concept behind the tidying up really is if it does not bring you joy or happiness, don't keep it. Get rid of it. And my thing has been all these years, oh, I may wear that again, or I really like that, I'm going to keep it, or I paid a lot of money for it, so I'm going to keep it. Marie Kondo does not care what you paid for it, or only thing she cares about is, does it bring joy or does it spark joy? So I went through every piece and I held it up and I looked at it and I said, okay, does this spark joy? Well, no, this one doesn't spark joy because it makes me feel bad about myself every time I put it on, go in the donation pile. How about these shoes? Do they spark joy? No, these shoes hurt my feet every single time I wear them, so they go in the donation pile. So it did not matter to me what I paid for. And I'm not saying that boastfully. I'm just saying that I had some things in my closet that I kept holding on to because of what I paid for it. some of them I didn't even wear, like the sandals I just mentioned, the shoes that hurt my feet. I never wore those things because they hurt my feet. But I had still hung on to those things for so long because I paid a lot of money for them. But I didn't care at this point. I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to clean out my closet, and everything I put back in it is going to be because it brought me happiness. And I did that. It took about almost 2 weeks to do it because I took my time, put everything back, and when I put everything back, it was organized. I love t-shirts. T-shirts are one of my favorite things, especially I used to travel a lot and I would get t-shirts from where places I traveled because that brought me joy. Seeing that t-shirt of that place I visited had brought me joy. So when I put things back into my closet, everything was pretty much color coordinated. I had all the t-shirts on one side, they were all color coordinated. On the other side, I had work clothes and church clothes and all that. So it brought me joy. My closet looked really good for a while. But as I said earlier in the podcast, my husband is gifting me with a brand new professional closet. So all I could think about was, okay, I've got to go through that closet again and go through everything that sparks joy, and or if it sparks joy, put it back. If it doesn't, donate it. But that also got me thinking about something that my pastor says about toxic people and ridding those toxic people of your life. So I got to thinking, if I can do that with my closet, why can't I do that with the people in my life? If they don't bring me joy, why do I have to be around those people? Or why do I have to follow them people on social media anymore? And you know what? I don't. I have felt so much peace by removing people from my social media that does not bring me joy. They post things about other people. They're always negative. They post things that aren't my way of life. I am a Christian. I told y'all that earlier. And while I'm not a prude or anything like that, there's certain things that I don't want to see. And when I would see those things, it would just stress me out, cause me anxiety. And I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I continuing to follow these people that don't make me happy or spark joy? Or follow somebody that makes me feel bad about myself because I'm not a size 2? And why am I doing that to myself? So I started going through all of my social media accounts and I got rid of people that just don't bring me joy. And then I got to thinking, why can't I do that in my personal life? I have people in my personal life that don't bring me joy. That when I see their post or when I see their name pop up on my phone or they pop in my messenger and it just stresses me out, or they're always so negative, why can't I do the same for them? And you know what? I can. I am a 50-plus-year-old woman. I can do just about anything I want to that is not breaking the law and is of Jesus, that he would not be angry with me. And so I just did it, y'all. I blocked them. I blocked them on all levels of social media so they can't contact me at all. And these are not family members. These are people that I've known that have been in my life for a long time, and I should have done it many years ago. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, I'd like to block my mama or I'd like to block my sister. You can. And sometimes it is family that brings us down and that keeps us from living our true best happy lives because they are those toxic people in our lives. And I have a good friend of mine. We were chatting one day and she was telling me, she said, I had to do that with my mom. I had to say, no more. Now, she said if her mother were sick or, in an accident or something, by all means, she would be there for her mother. But she said just on a daily basis, that communication, she says, I can't do it anymore. It's not good for me. It's not good for my family. It's not good for my sanity. And I get it. I get that there's people out there that just bring you down because I have people like that in my life. Well, let me say this. I had. Like I said, I am over the age of 50, and if it does not make me happy anymore, I am just refusing to do it. I'm refusing to let those people in my life that just do not make me happy. And I have a 30-year relationship that I have no more because that person just, I would reach out to them and ask them a question or something, and their response was always just "Meow, meow," and I'm like, I can't do it anymore because I just would get into knots when I would ask them a question or reach out to them for something, and I just can't do it anymore. And a lot of people say, well, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't cut people out of your lives, because what if you need them? You know what? I feel like that if I need them, then I probably wouldn't reach out to them anyway, just because of all the anxiety they caused me in the past. The person of my 30 years that I'm cutting out, that's the last person I think I would reach out to if I needed something, just because of how I feel about myself when I talk to that person or see that person or even have a thought about that person. And y'all, life is too short to be miserable. In this day and age, everything is different. COVID really did a number on me, just the being stuck at home and not being able to go nowhere, and my mental status just does not allow it anymore. And I love myself too much to continue to have toxic people in my life that just bring me down and just weigh on me, because people get sick from that. People get sick from having all that stress in their life, and I don't want to be that person. I want to live life to its fullest, because we are not promised tomorrow. And I want to live life. I want my life to be good. I want my husband's life to be good. I want my dog's life to be good. My family that I haven't cut out yet. I want, when we're together, I want to feel good about it, and I want to have a good time with them. And I know things are going to happen. Like, my dishwasher's torn up right now, and the stuff like that stresses me out. But it's just a blip, as my husband says, just a blip, and it'll be fixed and all will be good in the world. But if you have people in your life that are constantly bringing you down, and if you see them in the grocery store, you turn the other way because you just don't want to deal with it, maybe it's time for you to rethink the people in your life. And who do you need to Marie Kondo out of your life? And, a lot of people say, well, you just can't do that. You just can't do that. That doesn't make any sense to get rid of people in your life, but it does. And if you sit and you think about it and you're truly honest with yourself and you think, man, if I didn't have to talk to that person or see that person, how much better off I would be. And me, I am nosy to an extent, so I want to know what's going on. But then I just got to a point where I said, knowing what's going on and my sanity, I'll take sanity over knowing what's going on any day. Because sometimes the least you know, the better off you are. And that's at least how I feel. But just think about the people in your life, and do you need to declutter your life like I need to declutter my closet? And just think about it, be honest with yourself, and I bet there's some people that you can Marie Kondo out of your life that will make you feel better about things and just live life to its fullest, and where you don't have to deal with all that negativity. So, as always, or I said in the last week's podcast, if you want to call and leave a message, by all means, you can please do so at 404-939-7720. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments, just say hello. You can always email me at hodgepodgewithangela@gmail.com. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. I hope you'll share this. I hope you'll give me a follow here. And I hope you'll be back for next week's show. Until then, have a good day, y'all. And thanks again for joining me right here at Hodgepodge with Angela. Bye, y'all.